Block 1. The forgotten drawer. You don't notice the years passing until one day. You open a drawer you haven't touched in decades. That's what happened to me. It was a quiet Sunday morning. The kind where the light falls just right through the curtains, where the house seems to breathe softly. I was dusting off some old papers, trying to bring a little order to the chaos of my desk, a habit I picked up after my wife passed. And then, at the very back of the drawer, beneath some unpaid bills and an old pocket watch, I found it. A photograph. It was worn at the edges, the colors faded, and there was a small tear on the top corner. For a moment, I didn't recognize the faces, but then I saw her smile. And I knew. That boy was me, and that girl beside me. That was Emily. My fingers trembled as I held it up to the light. The years melted away like fog. I could almost hear the sound of the river, the chirping of the crickets, the faint laughter that used to echo through the fields. I sat there, motionless, staring at the past. It's strange how something as small as a photograph can open a door you thought had been locked forever. I thought I'd moved on. But you never really move on, do you? You just learn to live beside your memories, quietly. That morning, as sunlight touched that old photo, I whispered, "Well, hello again, Emily." Block 2. The summer of 1958. The year was 1958. I was 10 years old, and the world felt endless. Summers were longer back then. Or maybe they just felt that way when you didn't have a clock ticking inside your head. I used to wake up to the smell of my mom's pancakes, run barefoot across the yard, and spend the whole day by the river with Emily. She lived down the road. Red hair, freckles, and a laugh that could make the birds stop singing. We'd race our makeshift rafts, skip stones, and tell each other stories about who we'd be when we grew up. She wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to see the world. Every mountain, every ocean. My father used to come down to the river with us sometimes. He carried that old Kodak camera everywhere. He'd say, "One day you'll thank me for capturing these moments." And God, he was right. That photo, the one I found, was taken by him. The last picture he ever took. A few weeks after that day, he was gone. A heart attack, sudden and cruel. I remember sitting on the porch, staring at the sunset, feeling like the world had stopped spinning. Emily came over quietly and sat next to me. She didn't say a word at first. Then she whispered, "Your dad's still here, Robert? He's in that picture. He's in you." And even though I didn't understand it then, I think that was the first time I believed in something bigger than loss, broken heart. Block 3. The promise. A few weeks later, Emily came by again. She held that same photograph, the one my father took. It was bent, fingerprints smudged across the front. She said, "Promise me you'll never forget who you are, even when you grow up, even when things change." I laughed. I told her, "That's easy. How could I forget?" But the truth is, life has a way of making us forget. Years went by. The laughter faded into noise. I joined the army when I was 19. I wanted to see the world, and I did. But the world I saw wasn't always kind. There were nights under foreign skies, where the air smelled of smoke and fear. I saw faces I still dream about. And through it all, I carried that photo in my wallet. It was my reminder of something pure, a small window into who I used to be. When I got home, I tried to build a life. I married a good woman, had children, worked hard, but somewhere in between, I stopped looking at the photo. Not because I forgot Emily, but because remembering her hurt too much. Still, in quiet moments, her voice would echo in my mind. Promise me you'll never forget who you are. Home. Block 4. The Return. After my wife passed, the house became too quiet. Too many rooms filled with too many memories. So I did something I hadn't done in over 50 years. I went back. Back to that small Texas town where I grew up. The roads were cracked now, the houses older, the faces mostly new. But the river was still there. The same gentle current, the same muddy bank, the same whispering wind through the trees. The bridge was gone, just a few rotted planks left behind. But as I stood there, I swear I could almost hear our laughter again. I pulled out that old photograph, now yellowed and worn. The colors were fading, but the memory was brighter than ever. The sky was golden that evening. The air smelled like rain. I held the picture up to the light and whispered, "I kept my promise, Emily." And for the first time in a long while, I felt at peace. Block 5. The Letter. That night, sleep wouldn't come. So I sat in the living room, surrounded by boxes of old things, letters, photo albums, postcards from places I'd almost forgotten visiting. And then, tucked inside one of my father's old books, I found it. An envelope, yellowed with age, edges fragile as dry leaves. It was addressed to me, in handwriting I hadn't seen in decades. My heart started to pound. The postmark read, 1962, and the sender's name, Emily Carter. I opened it with trembling hands. Inside, a single sheet of paper. The ink had faded, but her words were still clear. Dear Robert, if you're reading this, it means you came back. I never forgot you. Thank you for keeping your light, even when the world tried to dim it. Love, Emily. I sat there for hours. The clock ticked, the house creaked, and I just breathed. Tears came, soft and quiet. Not of sadness, but of something deeper. Gratitude, maybe, or the simple truth that love never really dies. Sunrise. Block 6. The Message. The next morning, I framed the photo and her letter side by side. They sit on the shelf by the window now, where the light hits them just right. Sometimes, when my grandchildren visit, they point to the photo and ask, "Who's the girl, Grandpa?" I smile. Someone who taught me what it means to remember. I tell them that life is full of drawers, full of things we hide away, promising to deal with them later. But one day, when you finally open them, you'll find that time didn't erase anything. It only made it more precious. You see, memories don't age. They just wait for us to find them again. And when we do, they remind us who we are. Narrator, softly. This was my story. And maybe it's a little bit yours too.